Hello students, today in this video we will discuss about the abiotic stress in vegetables. So first of all we should know what is stress. The effect that is having negative effect on other entity is termed as stress. Means the effect of any entity on the living organism is called as stress. Stress is any factor of environment that interfere with the complete expression of genotypic potential of the plant. So it is environmental factor. It may be heat, cold, waterlogging conditions, drought, and other environmental factors which inhibit the expression of genotypic potential of the plant. And external conditions that adversely affect plant growth, development, and productivity. The external conditions means environmental conditions which adversely affect the reproduction, growth, and development of the plant are known as environmental stress or stresses. According to John and et al., 1989 defined stress as an overpowering pressure of some adverse forces that prevent or decrease the normal system of functioning. Means normally the vital processes are running in the plant body. These vital processes are adversely affected by overpower pressure created by environment. So adverse forces that prevent or decrease the normal system of functioning are known as stress. Stress may be due to biotic agent, non-living factors, or abiotic agents means non-living factors. Living and non-living factors both are responsible for the stress. In biotic factors, human beings, animals, insect, fungi, bacteria, virus, nematode, etc. are responsible because they are living factors. And in abiotic factors, atmosphere and edaphic or soil factors. In atmosphere, air pollution, light, temperature, and in edaphic factors, water stress and salt stress. So, in atmospheric stress, air pollution, due to increase the pollution in the air, plants suffer and reduce the yield. Yield product may be damaged. For example, increasing the pollution in environment by brick fields cause black tip of mango. It is due to releasing the gases from the brick fields. So there is no living organism involved in the creating black tip. So it is atmospheric abiotic factor which is responsible for the damage in fruits of mango. Light stress, if some plant body requires a threshold light during daytime, if this light is not obtained by the plant, then flowering is inhibited. We have already discussed this fact in photoperiodism. When long day plants are grown in short day period, they do not flower because optimum critical day of length is not obtained by the plant, so flowering is not occur. Similarly, temperature stress, if the temperature of the environment is increased, it adversely affects the vital process of the plant. First of all, due to increase in the temperature, respiration rate is increases, which reduce the photosynthesis. When this photosynthesis is reduced, it adversely affects the yield of the plant. By the increasing the temperature, the enzymes of photosynthesis, enzymes of cyclic photophosphorylation, non-cyclic photophosphorylation, and photosystem first and second are also adversely affected. CO2 reduction into organic substance is adversely affected. As a result, photosynthesis or photosynthate could not be prepared as normal plant prepare. Besides this, by temperature, the cells of the leaves become flaccid. When guard cell of the stomata become flaccid, the stomata remain closed and gaseous exchange is adversely affected. In absence of gaseous exchange, plant cannot respire and cannot photosynthesize the food material. So in this way, temperature is also affect the yield of the plant. Now, edaphic factors, water stress. Water stress means excess amount of water is present nearby the plant or in the soil. Then plants are unable to absorb this water due to absence of oxygen in the roots. Because when excess water is present on the soil surface, it prevents the gaseous exchange to the roots and root cannot respire, and when there is no availability of oxygen to root, the cell of root cannot evolve energy. This energy is utilized by root hair cell to absorb the water. So in absence of energy, root hair cells cannot absorb water from the soil. So in this way, excess amount of water is harmful for the plant, and plant go dry in presence, even in presence of the water. surrounding it. Similarly, scarcity of water. When there is no moisture in the soil, plant cannot absorb and reach on the wilting point. There are two types of wilting point: permanent wilting point and temporary wilting point. When the wilting plant is irrigated, the plant again get its refreshment or get its original position, then it is known as temporary wilting point. But when the water scarcity is more in the soil and on irrigation, plant cannot again get its original position and cannot refresh, then this situation is known as permanent wilting point. So scarcity of water and excess amount of water both are harmful for the plant growth, development and reproduction. And next, in salt stress in saline soils, the chloride, carbonate, bicarbonate, sulfate of magnesium, calcium and potassium are present in the soil. When the concentration of these salts is high in the soil, then plant cannot grow, because on availability of water, all the salt dissolve in the water and the osmotic pressure of this water or soil water is high than cell shape of the root cells. So due to osmotic potential, water cannot be absorbed by the plant from such type of saline soils. So in this way, plants are unable to grow in these saline soils. Now, abiotic stress, we have already discussed environmental factors which adversely affect the plant growth are known as abiotic stress. In abiotic stress, drought, waterlogging, heat stress, cold stress, and salinity, these are the factors which are responsible for the abiotic stress in the plants. Drought, in case of drought, water availability is reduced, photosynthesis process is reduced, oxidative process are also affected, membrane of the cell is damaged, cell death takes place, and even inhibition of mitosis, limited cell division. You know very well that in absence or in scarcity of water, the plant cell cannot be turgid, and in flaccid cell, enzymatic activity of the cell reduces. As a result, normal function cannot be run in the cell. So, cell division is prevented by the scarcity of the water. Loss of turgidity disturbs cell expansion. I have already discussed that there is loss of turgidity in the cells. If the guard cell lost their turgidity, they become flaccid. Then stomata remain closed and gaseous exchange cannot take place. So the respiration and photosynthesis process are adversely affected. Lower water potential. Water potential is also decreases. Now some crops are given in this table, and in this table a critical stage of growth is illustrated. If the water is not available at this critical stage, some harmful effects or adverse effects are given here. In case of tomato, flowering and fruit enlargement. At the time of flower and fruit formation, water should be applied in tomato crop. If water is not available, there is a scarcity of the water in the soil, then flower shedding takes place. Fruit size reduce and fruit splitting takes place. So in scarcity of water, the fruits damage and yield is also reduces. Similarly, in eggplant, flowering and fruit development, that is the critical stage, and when there is scarcity at this stage, scarcity of water at this stage, the yield is reduces, color of fruit is poorly developed, so yield, quantity and quality both are adversely affected. Cabbage and cauliflower, hard cud formation enlargement, head or curd. Curd formation and enlargement at this time, at the time of curd formation or its enlargement, water should be present in the soil. If water is not available, the development of curd is stopped. Tip burning takes place. Splitting of head and riceness in the cauliflower takes place. So in this way, these crops are given here, in which critical stage is shown. At this critical stage, water should be applied or water should be present near the plant or in the soil. If water is not present, then yield is adversely affected. Waterlogging, you know very well, the condition of soil where excess water inhibit gas exchange of root with atmosphere. Plant shift its metabolism to anaerobic mode of aerobic mode. So when excess water is present in the soil or on the surface of the soil, then exchange of gases is inhibited, and in the absence of oxygen, anaerobic respiration takes place, or this anaerobic respiration produce alcohol, which is toxic to the plant. With the alcohol, the cell of the root may be damaged. So in this way, excess water is also harmful for the plant growth. If there is deficiency of oxygen in the soil environment, then the term is known as hypoxia. When complete absence of oxygen in the soil environment, then it is known as anoxia. Now, waterlogging, I have already discussed. Gas diffusion limited, mineral nutrient deficiency, leaching induced by waterlogging condition. The minerals which are present in the soil are leached downward. Oxygen deficit, there is deficiency of oxygen. Carbon dioxide excess, carbon dioxide accumulation takes place in the cells, which is toxic to the cell. Ethylene excess, anaerobic respiration takes place. As a result of anaerobic respiration, harmful substances are produced which reduce the survivability of the cells. Heat stress. Heat stress is often defined the rise in temperature beyond a threshold level for a period of time sufficient to cause irreversible damage to plant growth and development. So, rise in temperature beyond the threshold level is known as heat stress. By increasing the temperature 10 to 15 degrees centigrade beyond the threshold level, there is heat shock or heat stress, because by rising temperature 10 to 15 degrees centigrade, the respiration rate is adversely affected, because up to 10 degrees centigrade rise in temperature, respiration rate is increases. Not I have discussed adversely affected. No. Respiration rate is increases, which reduce the net product of photosynthesis. Because if the respiration rate is increases beyond the normal limit, it utilizes the stored food material or stored photosynthetic product. So as a result, yield is reduced. By increasing the temperature, proteins are denatured, and mostly enzymes are made up of proteins. So enzymatic activities or vital processes which are controlled by enzymes are adversely affected. That is the diagram in which, due to high temperature, the problems which faced by the plant are given here. Now, cold stress. Tropical plants suffer cold damage when exposed to temperature below 20 degrees centigrade. The tropical plants are grown in the cold area, they cannot survive. They suffer cold damage because they are not adapted to the cold environment, and their growth, development and reproduction is adversely affected by low temperature. So cold stress are of two types, chilling injury and freezing injury. When temperature is above freezing point, means more than 0 degree centigrade, it may be 3, 4, 5 degree centigrade, then there is injury due to low temperature in the plant is known as cold injury. But in case of freeze injury, when the temperature is below freezing point, less than 0 degree centigrade, the ice formation takes place in the cells. As a result, the volume of cell increase and cell may burst. If the cells are burst, the vital processes in the plant are checked. So, due to low temperature, germination of the seed is also adversely affected because permeability of cell membrane is reduces, and cell membrane is adversely affected by the low temperature. Reduced vegetative growth due to low temperature, enzymatic activities becomes low. So as a result, vegetative growth of the plant is checked. Metabolic imbalance, metabolic activities also adversely affected, and reproductive development of the plant is adversely affected or it is checked. The next topic will be discussed in next video. So with this video and with the help of textbook, with the help of PPT, you should get knowledge. Okay, thank you.